I do say, good sir. G'day, Stu from UAV Futures here, and welcome to another episode of Tech Tuesday. I said that so quickly. Another episode of Tech Tuesday, where every Tuesday we get together, we talk about some new, different, or just exciting technology in the FPV drone racing world. And today, I've got this, and I've got to say, what the hell is this sort of antenna? It looks so gimmicky, but I've got to be honest, it kind of blew me away. I was expecting some rubbish, and I was like, that will be fun to test out, because look, this is a patch antenna. It's meant to offer some, patches are meant to offer you some good long-range sort of FPV feed reception. But look at it, it looks more like a toy. So I was like, oh, that'll be fun to test out. And I gotta tell you, stay tuned, because the surprises, it kind of blew me away. So what we're going to do, we're going to quickly stick this on the bench for about 2 seconds, because look, how much can you say about a patch antenna? But the crazy stuff, that's when we take it out of the field. I'll show you some DVR and my impressions on this antenna from Lune, I don't know how to say that. Anyway, Lunatime, whatever it is, RC. But yeah, this toy looking antenna does some crazy stuff. So let's stick it on the bench, find out, is this a good patch antenna for the money? I'll put the link down below, and then we'll go out and have some fun. Alrighty, here it is on the bench, and look, this is going to be about 30 seconds long, because how much can you say with a little 5.8 patch antenna? But there it is. It's in a very, very strange shape, but the one part I don't like is this little connector that comes with it. I had to go get a different one to sort of change it from RP, SMA, but it's like the strange male end. You're going to have a very, very hard time putting that into your goggles, and it's going to make it very, very difficult, because they're both the sort of same. I know it's a bit out of focus. I'll flash a picture on the screen, but they're both the sort of same thing. So I would like it if it was like that female version, like that's on the end of your antennas, because otherwise you're just not going to be able to put this, it should be this sort of size or this style, not this male end. That part is a little bit frustrating. But once you get that sorted, I'll put some other links down below that should be able to help you out. Then we're going to take it out to the field, fly it around, and you're going to be surprised at sort of how this antenna performs. So that's it on the bench. Super boring. Nothing you can really say about it besides it looks like a bit of a joke, but let's find out how it works. All right, let's do it. Go have some fun in 3, 2, 1, boop. Alrighty, we're out here, we're in the field. We're going to be testing out this little Batman lookalike antenna. I've actually already done these tests, but somebody lost the DVR. So we're going to do it again, but this time, last time I was with Cal. Today we're with Grumpy Trev. And what were you saying, Cal, about this?
Trev, I'm Trev. Cal's the ugly one.
Okay, what do you think? I've just whipped this out, and your face, mate. What do you think of this little looking thing?
What a have a look at this. They want to, I tell you what, to make something like this as gimmicky as this, with this little Batman thing, they want to work, I tell you. So it's.
How do you think it's going to go?
Well,
I guess let's go assumptions out of 10. What's your assumption on performance? What do you reckon? How's that going to go?
Well, it looks like something kids blow bubbles at. You stick it in and blow the bubbles. So, look, if looks anything, it looks like. So, design guys, it looks like. So I hope it does work.
Okay. All right, so what we're actually going to do, because I actually know how it goes, we're going to put this on, we're going to do a test, we're sitting side by side, we'll go out, do some range tests and stuff and compare the DVR for the viewers, but you're going to have this pair on your head, and I'm going to fly with a normal Realac triple feed patch, and we'll compare the two. And then I'll jump back and say, well, Trevor, how did that actually go? Ready to do it?
Ready to go, let's go.
Okie dokie, here we go, on board with 2 DVR recordings synced up. We're playing at ×2 speed just to sort of get through this, because we're going to fly around. This is quite a big area. We go behind some of the trees. There was a lot of moisture in the air because we're right near the river as well. But I'm not going to actually tell you which one is which. So I want you to watch the DVR. Comment down below which one do you think is the triple feed patch, and which one do you think is the gimmicky sort of Lantean RC Batman lookalike sort of antenna, because I think there is a clear winner. One is doing better than the other, but they both did do surprisingly well. And you've got to remember, we don't have an omnidirectional or anything like that on these antennas as well. It is just the patches, and we're testing out, we're trying to fly outside of the beam width, all that sort of stuff. And overall, I didn't think that the gimmicky one would do as well as it did. You can see they're both sort of dropping out, and if a bit of a bonus as well, what I want to do is just so you can see the full effect and how important it is to have an antenna. I'm going to sort of compare it and show you what it's like when you have no antenna versus when you actually have an antenna on here. So which one did you think it was? The real ACC was actually on the left, and then we took off the antenna, and the Batman one, the Lantean one, was on the right. Now this is a pretty cool little test, because a lot of people, they don't see the importance of an antenna and why you've got to get them right, but you can see we took off the antenna. So this is with no antenna on Trev's goggles, and it does make such a huge difference to your flying. And this is sort of showing you how much this antenna does work. Look, it's not as good in my opinion as the triple feed patch, but you can see when it was on there, it was doing so much better. You can't even fly when it's off there. So if it wasn't working, the breakup would be significantly more. So I thought this was a nice little bonus so you guys can see it really was actually doing some work, even though it looked extremely gimmicky and I thought it was going to be a bit of a gimmick. When you see it compared to footage like this, you can definitely see that it was making a difference.
Alrighty, Trev, so we're going to have to wait till we watch the DVR back before we can sort of compare the two DVRs, but how do you think it went versus when it first had it to then when I took your antenna off on the end? So what was it like?
Well,
did it perform better than you thought it was going to?
Well, holy shit, man.
Isn't it holy cow?
Oh, holy cow.
Anyway, yeah.
But shit's better. It actually worked all right, surprisingly. So there you go. That looks gimmicky, but it worked. So I don't know what they're worth. Probably, I don't know. I wouldn't pay any more than $15 for it. So there you go. But if it's around that money,
better than expected.
Yeah, it actually works all right. For a patch, it was on there by itself. We've got a couple of little, not complete dropouts, but something you could fly through. And you know, from where we're flying, that's what I'd expect out of a patch anyway. So yeah, I was impressed.
Alright, nice. Thanks, old man. Alrighty, so there it is. There's my Tech Tuesday. Quick look at the little Lanteon RC, I think that's how you say it anyway, patch antenna. And overall, look, I don't think it performed as well as the triple feed patches which are out there because they work really well. They can go from right hand to left hand polarized. You can go watch that video on them as well. And I'll also put a link down in the description down below if you want to pick one of those up. But for what it did do, I mean, if you can get one of these cheap enough, it definitely did make a significant improvement over, you saw what it was like with no antennas. So I thought it was going to be complete gimmicky. But it turns out it actually wasn't. It still did its job. I would say decently, about a 7 out of 10. So anyway, drop your comments down below. What did you think about it? Did you think it performed better? Because it honestly, I thought it was going to be a piece of junk. And I was kind of excited to try something out and be like, there's no way that this is going to work. But I was kind of blown away. It did much better than I was expecting. But put your comments down below. Definitely subscribe for more FPV related content. And I got to say too, this one was a pain to review because I already went out and reviewed this, but the DVR sort of, something happened to the DVR, so that part was frustrating. So a little bit of a bonus shout out to my Patreon supporters. I'm going to sort of post like an unlisted video for you guys, so if you go check out the Patreon post, there'll also be another video where I went out and sort of did the field test with Crash Test Cal, if you want to check out a bit of that behind the scenes stuff. Anyway, happy flying. No idea how this antenna is going to go, a bit like a monocle, isn't it?